Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 259, season 11. Today's date is September 26, 2023, and welcome to the program. On today's program, I will talk about Long Chevrolet. That's that car dealership that was located in Elmhurst, Illinois. I'll talk about my memories of that place, mostly the commercials featuring Timmy. I'll get to him in a moment. Also, I'll do a tribute to actor David McCallum. He passed away yesterday. I will talk about my memories of watching him on television. And then I'll do a wrap-up of past posts on my Vanished Chicagoland Facebook page. So this will be a very interesting show. But first, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Bell Phone Center Stores. I used to like those stores, that sold telephones. So here's a commercial from 1983. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the show. Thank you, everyone.
These days, it seems everybody's selling phones. Old-timey phones, gee-whizzy phones, phones that are round, phones that get around. Now, we don't know what's inside other people's phones, but we know what's inside ours. When we call it genuine Bell, it's made to our high standards, because we at Bell never forget. This isn't the phone. This is. This is. This is.
It's ingenious, genuine Bell.
It's at your Bell Phone Center.
Llévate más de lo que esperas todos los días con el nuevo McValue en McDonald's. Ahora puedes comprar uno y sumarle otro por $1. Así que cuando tu equipo favorito enfrente a sus rivales, enfrenta tus antojos con $5 Meal Deals. Y si estás corriendo para alcanzar el desayuno, corre al app para llevarte ofertas antes del cutoff. Tú decides, y con McValue, tu decisión siempre rinde más. Precios y participación pueden variar. BOGO $1 válido para un producto de igual o menor valor. Debe estar registrado en Rewards para ofertas en el app.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Bell Phone Center Stores. I remember these stores very well. There was one in Fort City Mall on the southwest side of Chicago. And they sold phones, different kinds of phones. I remember the Mickey Mouse one, the French phones, the round ones, the one with the black board that you hang on the wall. So if someone calls, you write the message. There was the phone with the large buttons, the dial. I think that's for the people who don't want to wear glasses or bifocals. They just use that. I don't know when they went out of business. Probably late 1980s. I'm not sure. I never bought a phone there. We always had a phone at our old house. Like if you need a phone connected, you call Illinois Bell. That's what it was called then. They would install it. We had one that was hanging on the wall in the kitchen that was yellow, and we had one downstairs in the basement, which was beige, and they were very pretty, but they were loud, so everyone can hear it. The most common thing that happened is like when somebody calls, anyone from any family member of mine would run, I'll get it. Those things were loud. Like this. We didn't install answering machines yet. No. But you know what? The funny thing is, they didn't install a phone in my parents' bedroom because they had to run to the kitchen to answer it. They should have thought that. So we did, but later on, when you used to buy phones in the store, then we bought one, and then we clicked it in. Everything was fine. So, and I still have a landline. I still do. Yeah. A lot of people, no, they don't have it, but I don't know. The clarity sounds great, but I use it once in a while. I have my iPhone, but the only person that doesn't want an iPhone is my mother. No. She wants the landline. I think she's the only one in the world that doesn't have a cell phone so far. She's the only one. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I said I was going to talk about the Long Chevrolet car dealership that was located in Elmhurst, Illinois. Also, I'll do a tribute to actor David McCallum, best known as from the TV show Man from U.N.C.L.E. as Ilya Kuryakin, and also Ducky from NCIS. I'll talk about his career. And also, I'll do a past post. I'll talk about past posts on my Van Chicagoland Facebook page. Before I get started, I want to mention one thing. Yesterday, I picked up some new glasses. I haven't been to the eye doctor in a long time. And so I got new glasses, and I got these white frames for the first time. They look very nice. I posted a picture. People were very impressed. They liked that. And I had to text to my brother. He lives in California. He wants to see it. And I said, okay, fine. Yeah, he liked them a lot. And then the only person who didn't like it was my mom. She said, so you look like an old lady. Well, I am old, but I'm not a lady. Okay. I'll be 60 next Wednesday. I don't know what she's trying to tell me. So, I got a lot of feedback from people. I've noticed lately, sometimes people always ask me, why don't you post photos of yourself? You always post stuff about Fan of Chicagoland, which I do every day. And yeah, but I most of the time I don't. But now at first I was very uncomfortable. I don't like to see myself, in a photograph. I look kind of funny. I'm used to it now. So, and I give updates what's going on in my life, with the health and all that. And I posted a picture of my glasses. And they look nice. Also, I got a message from someone again about why don't you get on TV? You have a wonderful thing going. People want to see your face. They want you to talk about it on the air, not on the radio, not in a newspaper or social media. We want to see your face. We want you to discuss. Hasn't happened yet. Who knows? I'm here. If they want me, fine. If they don't want me, that's fine too. So I'll just do my shtick every day. I'm happy. All right. So let's get started on Long Chevrolet in Elmhurst. Now, the address of the place was 320 West Grand Avenue. That sounds like another car dealership that I did a podcast episode about was Howard Pontiac. That was on Grand Avenue with the old lady. Okay. So, yeah, that was located there. I found some history of that, of Long Chevrolet. I think it started, let's see, I'll tell you who started that. Just a moment, please. Here we go. So that was started by a man. His name was Jim Long. And he was from Oak Park, Illinois. His father owned a car dealership. And it was a Cadillac dealership. And then he started, let's see. So then he started another dealership in Oak Park. It was Pontiac. And then, let's see. So so Jim Long was a mechanic, and he, tinker around with cars and all that. And then, so he was very he was very knowledgeable about automobiles. So that's good, like that. And then he started working at a dealership. It was a used car shop in Forest Park, Illinois. And then in 1958, he purchased a Ford dealership in Bensonville. And then all of a sudden, 4 years later, it became Long Chevrolet. And that's what it was. And that's something. And so let's see. So he started Long Chevrolet. That opened for business on February 15th, 1962, which, by the way, Jim Long is on Facebook. He's not on much. So that's what he indicated. He said, I started this business on February 15th, 1962. There was he didn't do the commercials in the 60s, but that was later on. I'll get to that in a moment. And let's see. So it was when it opened for business, he sold Chevrolets, and it was a big lot. So he wanted to get some advertisement, but he tried to do that, but then he got an idea. He wanted to do something like a newsboy, in the old days, when men or women were selling newspapers on every corner, yelling, extra, 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 read all about it. They don't do that today. So he suggested to do that. And the newsboy was none other than Timmy. And Timmy Long was Jim Long's nephew. So he did that. And he got the idea for that. And he thought, he asked his nephew, he was 11 at the time, and they were on vacation in Florida. He says, do you want to do the commercial? Timmy said, yeah. When you're a little boy, I'm going to be on TV. You're excited. And he's excited. Yeah, that'd be great. And he was a very loud kid. so you can see that with, see how loud he was. Excuse me. And he was perfect. So the first commercial featured Timmy, with his, he had rolled up jeans, like the old days, like in the old movies. He took his uncle's cap, and then he played an old-fashioned newsboy touting deals at Long Chevrolet. And so that's, and then he started with the extra, read all about it, Long Chevrolet in Elmhurst. He did that. And they made a few commercials, maybe about probably 5, 6, during the 70s, mid-70s, around that time. One famous commercial is that, a lot of people find Timmy very annoying, and he had a grating voice. I didn't think it was annoying. I think he was a nice kid. But that's all they remember. They don't remember the car dealership. They remember Timmy, the newsboy. So right now I'm going to play the commercial for Long Chevrolet that features Timmy. What's special about this commercial is this is a commercial that people remembered most fondly of when at the end of the commercial he gets a pie in the face, and Timmy did not know about it. And this commercial is credited by the Museum of Classic Chicago Television, and it's for Fuzzy Memories TV by Rick Klein. So thank you, Rick. So I'm going to play that right now, and this commercial is from 1980. Yeah. I remember I was in high school at the time when it happened. So just sit back and relax and laugh at Long Chevrolet in Elmhurst featuring Timmy the Newsboy. Thank you, everyone.
Long Chevrolet, Chicagoland's volume dealer, the home of immediate delivery. They have the largest selection. Any option you want is there now. Extra, extra, Long Chevrolet, immediate delivery. Thank you, sir. Extra, extra, Long Chevrolet, a volume dealer. Thank you, mister. Extra, extra, Long Chevrolet, Elmhurst. Thanks, sir. Extra, extra.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial from Long Chevrolet in Elmhurst, Illinois. I don't know if I mentioned the address of the place. Let's see. I had it somewhere. Yeah, it was at 320 West Grand Avenue. Yeah, I did mention it. Sorry. my mind went. So yeah, so the commercial was the one where Timmy got hit in the face with a pie, and he did not know that was going to happen. And they heard the applause and all that. But I bet people who were watching the commercial at their homes were applauding as well because he got what he deserved. I said it again. He was a nice boy. He really was. Anyway, then the business had some scandal by an employee. There was embezzlement and all kinds of shenanigans. I won't go into more detail like that because it's so sort of tarnished the business like that. And let's see what else. So yeah, there was some fraud and all that, and that's a shame what happened. So the it closed November 24th, 1981, according to Jim Long on his Facebook page. Maybe that's true. I don't know what he did after that. From what I heard, he probably went to other car dealerships and was a salesman. The last I heard, he worked at a BMW dealership in Westmont, Illinois. Not too long ago. Well, no, it's been a while. He did that, and then he retired, and then he lives in Florida. And I hope he's doing well. And as for Timmy, the last I heard from the late 1980s, he lives in Minnesota with his family, and he's a car salesman at his father's dealership, and it's a Cadillac dealership. I don't know if he's still there. I don't know if he's still doing that because I don't know. He might be about my age, I guess. I think so. So I hope he's doing well. I hope Timmy Long's doing well, indeed. Another Chicago classic that we still remember to this day. I still like Howard Pontiac with the old lady, with Howard's mother. But this one took the cake. That was great. Okay, next up I'm going to talk about actor David McCallum. I said in the beginning of the show that he passed away yesterday at the age of 90. He lived a long life, and we all know him from the 2 TV series, well, maybe 3. He starred in the classic 1960s TV show, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Also, he was the Invisible Man in the 1970s. It was for one season, but he had that funny haircut. I used to watch that show. That was a pretty good show. I like that. He was good at that. And then, of course, he was in NCIS playing Ducky. And he was there for like over 10 years, like that, or more than that, I guess. And he was there until he was there a long time. And so he was one of the last original actors on the show. Before there was what's his name, Mark Harmon. And on the show he was a medical examiner, and he wasn't there for 10 years. He was there for 20 years. 20 years, yeah. Forgive me. And his most famous role in the movies was The Great Escape. I haven't seen that movie in ages. He was great in that. It was wonderful. That was right before he started Man from U.N.C.L.E. And I'll talk a little bit about Man from U.N.C.L.E. He played Ilya Kuryakin. He was a U.N.C.L.E. agent and he was from Russia. But David McCallum was Scottish. He was from Glasgow. And he tried to talk into a Russian accent. He was pretty good. But, it started with Robert Vaughn. He was a Napoleon Solo. And those two actors were great. But at first they didn't work together. Not in the beginning. So the show premiered in 1964, black and white. And then later on, people took notice of Ilya Kuryakin especially girls, and they find them very, very sexy and very attractive. The show did not do very well in the first year, but then it went into reruns in the summer of 1965, and then it was a big hit. And then they moved David McCallum, and he was a co-star. So, and they moved the credits to him, and then his popularity exploded, and they went into color. So the series ran for 4 years until January 1968, and then also in this, let's see. Also in the cast was actor Leo G. Carroll. He played their boss, Alexander Waverly. And the show that replaced The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. And Leo G. Carroll appeared I think in the first show, Laugh-In. He says, I think we have Thrush here. Thrush was that's like the enemies, they're like the bad guys, just like in Get Smart, you have chaos, and you have control, and then you have chaos. That was like that was a takeoff of it. I love that show. It's hilarious. And then so then it started reruns. I remember a glimpse of it when it was little. I was about 5 or 6, and it started rerunning on Channel 2, on WBBM TV Channel 2 in Chicago. It was like about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I saw a little of it, and I'm like fascinated by what is going on. They're running around with guns and chasing bad guys, and you had these wonderful guest stars, And then when they communicated through Uncle Headquarters, they take like a pen and they say, "Open Channel D." That was kind of cool. Like that. Okay. So right now I'm going to play the theme song for Man from U.N.C.L.E. from 1965. They had a different theme song on different season. 4 theme songs, 4 seasons, This one was my favorite. I like this one. So just sit back and listen to the second season of the theme song from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And when I come back, I'll talk a little bit more about David McCallum. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Men from U.N.C.L.E. That starred Robert Vaughn and David McCallum. After The Man from U.N.C.L.E., David McCallum did some guest shots. One I remember from Night Gallery. He was in that. And I forgot the name of the episode. It had something to do with a werewolf or something like that. Also, he starred in the U.S. version of the TV series The Invisible Man. He did a TV series in England. He did that, and also, and then he reunited with Robert Vaughn for a TV movie, from The Return from Man from U.N.C.L.E. I saw that once. It was okay. It was great to see those guys again. So. And then did some guest spots all here and there, and then beginning in 2003, he started in NCIS as Dr. Donald Ducky Mallard. I love that name. He was a medical examiner, and he was awesome in that show. I watched him a few times, and he was great. I always look forward to seeing him. And there was a special line. And there was a cast member that asked Mark Harmon, and he said, "What did Ducky look like when he was younger?" And then Mark Harmon's character Jethro Gibbs replied, "Ilya Kuryakin." It's an inside joke like that. And So he's, but then he had a limited schedule down the road, and then he would just appear sporadically. And he was the last one, and last cast member, the original one, until he died, yesterday. So then, so that's a shame. I liked him a lot. I really did. He was a great actor. He was also a singer. He recorded some record albums. I've heard him sing. He's pretty good at that. So that's I'll miss him. We all miss him. I still, as for the Man from Uncle, I have the DVD set. I got it, and it was kind of expensive at the time. It's not on Blu-ray, so it came in an attaché case, like secret agents carried. And I watched all the shows, about twice, and it's a great show. I loved it. But it didn't rerun much in Chicago in like the 70s or 80s. No, it just popped up once in a while. Last I heard, it was on MeTV, but I don't think it's on there anymore. So they should bring it back. It must be on streaming somewhere. Maybe. We'll see about that. Okay. Right now, I'm going to talk about my past posts on my Vanish Chicagoland Facebook page. So let's get started. Okay. The first one is from August 30th. It was one of my favorite photos was the inside entrance of Carson Perry Scott department store in the Loop, downtown Chicago. And this was taken in August 14, 1979. Oh, it's a gorgeous photo, with the Gothic architecture and all that, and by Louis Sullivan. And right now it's a Target. Thank God it's still remained like that. But people still want it to be Carson's. They miss that store very much. I do too. So does my mom. They had great quality items at the time. Okay. Let's see what else. Then I posted a picture of silver cup bread, a loaf. Everyone remembered this bread very well. Originally, it's from New York, but they had, I think they had a plant here in Chicago, but they all remember Silver Cup. It was very good bread at the time. When I was younger, I don't think my mom bought this. She heard of it, but I think she bought Wonder Bread or Butternut, or any, the stores that had their local brands like Jewel, Dominic's, National, High-Low, you name it. They had that. Let's see what else. Be with you in a moment. I found this food tray from Ponderosa Steakhouse, the restaurant. So a lot of people miss the steakhouse. They either compare it to Bonanza or Ponderosa. I've been to Ponderosa maybe once or twice, but I went to Bonanza a lot. The one they used to be on 81st Street and South Cicero in Burbank. That was good food like that. I talked about those places on my podcast episodes. So I might do it again. We'll see. Anyway, let's see what else. Also, I found this cool photo of Crocs in Bertano's bookstore that was located in Oak Park, Illinois. I think it was the Oak Park Mall on Lake Street. It's not a mall anymore. They did, and this was taken from the Chicago Sun-Times on July 23rd, 1978. Oh, it looked like a very nice place. Beautiful. I miss that bookstore very much. I miss it at the downtown area on Wabash Avenue. I used to go all the time when I was downtown. Oh, great store. Great bookstore. Let's see what else. Also, I found this photo very interesting. It was about the Goodyear blimp. That was at Midway Airport, and they had it in the 70s. And, I had a friend of mine from school, grade school, that is. He went on the blimp, and him and his family, and I forgot to ask him, how much does it cost to get on this thing? And he told me, and I totally forgot. But it was near his home. And they flew on a Goodyear blimp, and it was kind of cool. So that was at Midway Airport. So, I should talk about that someday. And it was a nice color photo. The photo had a station wagon. Station wagons, whatever happened to them? Now we got SUVs. I prefer the station wagons. They're kind of cool. You can sit in the back, like, and wave at people. Also, I found a photo of Woolworth's store. That's a 5-a-dime store that was at 825 Davis Street in Evanston, Illinois. And it had a CTA bus. Evanston had CTA buses. That they still do. And from what now, that's torn down, and it's like a parking garage. It's just it's unrecognizable. But that's a shame because the architecture of that building looked real nice. Woolworths went out of business in 1997. Okay. Also, I found a photo of from the A&P grocery store from 1966, where there was a woman and a little girl with all their groceries, and it showed all the products from excuse me, can't even say it, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't say A&P. They had the 8 o'clock coffee. There was some rippled potato chips, some bread, some milk. But that 8 o'clock coffee stood out like that. I wonder if they had the coffee maker on the side. Do you remember that? I don't know. Okay, let's see what else we got. Then I found a sign. Remember those Zenith color television signs that were hung at stores? Like every neighborhood in Chicago had them, or in the suburbs. They were kind of cool. I think there are a couple remaining somewhere. Because Zenith's out of business, like that. And let's see what else. Then last week was the 62nd anniversary of Bozo's Circus. That was on the September 11th. And I found this cool photo of Bozo and Cookie, like that. And I did a 4-part podcast 2 years ago. I talked about the show. I talked about the actors that played, Bozo, Cookie, Wizzo, Ringmaster Ned, Oliver, Fraser Thomas. I talked all about that. And Sandy the Clown. That was fun. So Bozo still remains in our memories, like that. Okay, let's see what else. I also posted a photo of the Fort City Cinema that was at Fort City Shopping Center. This is from 1989, a year before they closed it, and they moved it to the other side of the mall, and it's a 14 screen, and but I had a lot of memories going to that theater, a lot of them, So we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that someday. People requested me to talk about this, what movies I saw, what movies I liked, what movies I was scared of, but like Jaws, we'll see about that. Also, I found a photo of Marshall Fields that was located in Lake Forest, Illinois. And it was very, very, the architecture of that building is gorgeous. Oh, and beautiful. The building's still there, but it's used for other businesses. And that's an area called Market Square. And maybe someday I'll take a ride and take a look at it, because it was beautiful. I bet the inside was beautiful. I think the plaques are still out on the side of the doors, the entrance. It says Marshall Fields. I'm sure it's still there. Okay. And also, we all remember from the General Cinema feature presentation, at the beginning of a movie from the 70s, 80s, where it's like a projector and goes like that. People remember that so much. That's a classic. They don't have that. Now it's all flashy and loud and all that. But this is great. That was great back then. They played that at Fort City a lot. Yeah, they did. Okay, let's see what we got. Do we have anything else? Last week was the 75th anniversary of WLS TV Channel 7. That first went on air September 17, 1948. It was first called WENR. Then, until 1953, then it changed to WBKB from 1953 to 1968, and then it changed to WLS TV. WBKB was on Channel 4, then 2, Then, it went to Channel 2, then it became WBBM. It was just a switch. It's kind of a long story. I always said that. But so happy 75th anniversary. By the way, Channel 5 WMEQ is coming up soon for that. Okay, let's see what else. Also, I found this ad in the newspaper. It was for Yummy ice cream. I posted one before, and it showed the 3 flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. My mom used to buy Yummy soft drinks and also ice cream. And I remember the Neapolitan one, which I liked, but the chocolate was good. Yeah, so that was very good. Okay, let's see what else we got. I think that's it. Also, yeah, I think one last thing, I posted one of these. One of my favorite photos was the Brandywine restaurant. It was located at 4200 West 95th Street in Oak Lawn. Oh, who can not forget the ribs, the donut holes, the bowling, and that opened in 1958 or something like that. And it closed in the 80s. People miss that restaurant. They really miss it. There's another Brandywine now restaurant. It's in Bridgeview by 71st Street in Harlem. It's a smaller place. I have not been there yet. I want to go someday. They have the ribs. I don't know if they taste the same. They did have the donut holes, but I think it's been discontinued. But I heard the restaurant called Durbin's, that Irish pub, do have donut holes. That's what I heard from some people. I don't know. We'll see about that. Okay, and let's see what else. I think that's it. Yep, that's it for the past posts on my Vanish Chicagoland Facebook page. Okay, so that'll be it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Long Chevrolet dealership in Elmhurst, Illinois, featuring Timmy. Also, I did a tribute to actor David McCallum, best known for his roles in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., also in NCIS, and also I did a past post on my Vanish Chicagoland Facebook page. This podcast will be published later on today. Whatever podcasts are available, whatever apps you have on your phone or your laptop, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast, also whatever apps that have podcasts on. Also be published on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. Also on my YouTube channel, Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Do a search, people. Someone asked me that the other day. Where can I find your podcast? Go to YouTube. It's much easier. And all the rest of the episodes is there. You can listen. You can watch. Well, you don't have to watch because it's just a picture. But you could listen, and also it'll be shared on my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or in Threads. You can click on the link. It'll take you right there. And help yourself. Any questions you have, let me know. They always ask me, where can I find your podcast? I'm fascinated by these things you're talking about. So this is Pico Steins, your host of Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, it's kind of a wet day. It's raining, so I'll do another episode this weekend. So we'll see. So here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. And so take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.